Social engineering. This is a fun one. This is basically what it means when somebody is trying to trick you into doing something by using social conventions, things that you normally do on a day in and day out. They know who you are, what makes you tick, and they try to convince you to do something that you may not want to do. Remember, we just talked about malware and how they get you to install software that you may not want to have on your system. That is using social engineering. So it's using things to convince you to do things that you don't want to do, things that may be bad. The target of social engineering could be targeted, things that are towards a specific person or a specific company. We have this concept called phishing, where they're trying to get information from you about usernames, passwords, things of who you are. The idea of spear phishing is very targeted, where they look towards the leader of an organization or something, because the more important you are, the more money they can get out of you, the more damage they can do. So there are things like this that are a little bit targeted, but often social engineering is very general. It's generic. One of my favorite stories about this has to do with the Lovebug virus. They sent out this little virus in an email, and the subject says, "I love you." And the idea was everybody opened it because they wanted to see who in the world it was that loved them. It was the person who did that actually got an advanced degree because of that, sending that out. He proved that he knew what he was doing when he was talking about stuff. That was a part of his degree, was the results of this thing. It was such a powerful virus because everybody opened it because of this social engineering. Another thing that a lot of us have gotten is people are dialing around, randomly calling numbers, and they pick up and they say, "Oh, we have heard that your computer has a problem. We need to help you fix your computer problem." Your computer may not have a problem, but if they tell you that, you immediately believe it, and you go, "Oh, these people must be telling us the truth. Let's do whatever it is that they want us to do to our computer," and the next thing you know, they have hacked your computer and done all sorts of nastiness to it. Anyway, those are social engineering things. It could be targeted, or it could be generically applicable to whoever, and you're just happen to be the random person affected. What types of things are they trying to do with their social engineering? Again, this is in the realm of our digital dangers. Often they will try to install a virus, install malware, spyware, steal your identity, sometimes get into your banking system. There's a whole bunch of things that they can do. We'll talk about some of those a little bit later, but the important thing is to realize it's not good. All right, avoiding social engineering. Just be observant, be wise, pray often. Now, I add pray often to that be wise because God is the author of wisdom. And if you really want to be wise, you get your wisdom from above, not just from a formula of how do you do things. So we pray that we are wise. That should be a prayer that we tend to have every morning, every day. Not that we all do that, but it's one of those things we ought to do. We look for things that are out of place when people are talking to us, when we're seeing things on the internet, whatever. Usually, if there's something that is attacking us, there's usually something wrong, something that doesn't fit in. And then always be careful giving out data, particularly if it's something that you don't expect to be giving out. If somebody calls you up and he says, "You have a problem with your computer, tell me your social security number," or whatever it is, whatever numbers you have that describe who you are, you shouldn't be giving out some of this. Your banking information, you don't give that out to just any old person. So figure out why they're asking for the things that they're asking for, and be careful giving that data out. And still be careful installing software from strangers and friends, because you need to know kind of why they're asking you to do it. All right, in summary, So social engineering is bad. It can take many different forms. It doesn't have to be digital. You can be interacting with people and they can be stealing your password. People will actually walk into a building and talk and pretend to be something that they're not, just so they can get into an organization, so they can gather information from the organization. And there's a lot of pieces to social engineering. It doesn't have to be digital, but in this case, a lot of what we're talking about is digital, or at least it impacts your digital walk. So to avoid it, you develop good habits. You be wise about what you share with others, be wise about what you install on your computer, you be observant, you pray a lot, you protect against viruses and malware, and just try to be to know the areas of strength and weaknesses that you and your equipment might have, so that you can see when something might be trying to attack that or get information about that.